Ho, 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 ho. Welcome back, everybody.
Welcome.
This is the holiday special.
Yes.
I'm dropping the voice. This is the holiday special.
The winter special.
Winter special
Yeah,
of the quad pod here.
Same costumes as last year.
Same as last
we had to
year.
bring it back.
I am Santa Claus, also known as Carlo.
And I'm Elf 37. And I'm also known as Sam.
Now, if you'll excuse me really quickly, this bit lasted approximately. I'm keeping the hat on.
The hat's fire. Yeah, the hat's good. Is the beard annoying?
Put the beard back on.
No.
I can't do the beard. I can't. Sorry. I'm still Santa though.
You still look good.
I'm still Santa.
Yeah.
And we want to.
Studio Santa.
Well, I can't see otherwise. We want to wish you all a happy holiday season.
Yes.
You know, a very warm and cozy winter to all of you. It is December now. This is probably our last episode. I should have more certainty about that. Of the season.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say so.
But we have a lot to talk about today.
Yeah. I'm excited, and
Yeah.
especially with us in costume.
Yeah, it's always.
And if this is possibly the last one of this season, want to make it special.
Yeah, we don't have too much festive things to talk about, or even necessarily too many positive things to talk about. But
we'll tie it back all up into the holiday theme, somehow. By the end, it'll wrap up perfectly in a nice, neat bow.
We definitely have a plan for that.
Yeah.
So just know that.
Be ready.
But we'll get right into it. As you'll probably know by now, we're gonna go through some news items of the past. I guess of the past 2 weeks, we were on break.
Yeah,
if you want to say, for Thanksgiving. So we hope you all had a wonderful Thanksgiving. But now we're squarely into the Christmas season now. If that's what you celebrate or anything else you celebrate, it's that time of year.
Are you a family that, like right after Thanksgiving you put up the Christmas tree?
My family did. Funnily enough, though, it's up, but it's not decorated.
Really?
Yeah.
So after every Thanksgiving, like the next day, we just spent putting up the tree. And
I feel like that's the way it should be. I mean, I will say, and I've said it before, Christmas is my favorite holiday.
It's gotta be.
I feel like, and again, like if you don't celebrate Christmas, like it's a null point. But for those who do celebrate Christmas, I don't know how it can't be your favorite holiday.
Yeah, I think I like the idea of Halloween a little more. I think I like the idea of dressing up like that and going out. I think that's fun. But there's something quite whimsical about Christmas that you can't just.
The whimsicality is unmatched. It's unmatched. Yeah. So I don't have a great segue for this, but we're just gonna get right into the meat of what we got going on here.
Yes, the real feast.
The real feast. You might see at the top of our naughty list here, and this is undisputable. Indisputable.
One of the two.
Which one is it?
I would have said, was it undisputable or indisputable? I thought it was
undisputed. Right?
Indisputable?
No, indisputable.
Inconceivable.
We're very smart here on this show.
Yeah. Only scholars.
You can't argue with this. Basically, if you're on this list, you're in the shitter. So sorry.
Sucks to suck. Have a better year.
I don't think you can really do anything about it. It's kind of set at this point.
Mm-hmm. Hey, only hope that next year you can be better.
Yeah.
Let's
hope so.
And if you're not on this list, be grateful.
Yeah. At the top of the list here, we have Drowsy Don, who has been having he's been having a week.
a week. You can say that about any one of his weeks, though.
So in a recent Oval Office meeting, it's widely publicized. You may have seen it, you may have not. Trump pretty visibly appeared to be falling asleep in the middle of a cabinet meeting.
Like, obviously, like I think for a lot of people, if they were in those meetings, they'd fall asleep too out of boredom. But he's the president of the United States. He can't be doing that.
Yes, he was sitting in his cabinet meeting, right next to as I like to call him, and I will say, Trump hit the mark on this one. It's a funny nickname, Little Marco.
Little Marco is
Marco Rubio.
Donald Trump gave him that nickname.
Yeah. Look, I mean that's one thing. That's one thing you have to give Donald Trump. Gives pretty funny or he used to.
Yeah, not anymore.
He used to give pretty funny nicknames. Little Marco is one of my favorites. That's a good one. He was sitting next to him. Sorry, I interrupted you.
No, you're good. It's good.
But yeah, he was sitting next to Marco Rubio, who was basically just dumping praise upon him, all the while Donald Trump was asleep. He was asleep. Or if he wasn't fully asleep, it was like, when you're sitting in class, maybe you have a 9 a.m. class, and you were up till 2 or 3 the night prior, and you're just kind of sitting there like
heads like starting to bob forward.
He was doing that during a cabinet meeting in front of multiple cameras.
How does someone not be like, a knock on Trump's shoulder and be like, yo, you know what you're doing right now? like seriously, knock it off.
Because if somebody does that, they're probably shit.
Also, what is this guy losing sleep over? Like, obviously, like a regular person
Well,
would lose sleep over the things he does, but
we know what it was.
oh, we did.
I'll get to that. Yes.
Oh shit. Okay,
So that's a great question, actually. Now, that's a really good segue.
that's a good segue if it was on.
So the New York Times article here says Mr. Trump appeared to have had a late night. He shared or posted dozens of times on social media on Monday night until nearly midnight.
What?
So for a 79-year-old man, that's a late night.
Midnight's like 6 a.m. for that guy.
And yeah, exactly. And he was basically just rage posting on Truth Social until late at night, the night prior, and then he shows up to this cabinet meeting and he falls asleep during it.
Dude.
And there's a few good things that I found amusing about this.
I just think that the picture's funny. Like he's in his pajamas, he's in bed, and he's trying to fall asleep. He's like, I gotta do it. And he pulls out his phone and starts.
He was probably genuinely like a social media addict. He probably,
oh my God,
really is. So there's a few quotes here that I like.
From the Truth Social post?
Not from Truth Social, actually.
Oh.
So just kind of Caroline Levitt has one here.
Oh, okay.
Caroline Levitt, who was the press secretary for the White House, said that President Trump was, quote, listening attentively and running the entire meeting. So in case you thought he was falling asleep, I guess
you're wrong.
Maybe he was telepathically communicating with everybody.
Yeah, you know, like how Narwhal's like, what is it, echolocation? He was feeling the vibration of the table, and that's how he was able to understand everything. Like,
so ignore what you saw, despite the fact that he was clearly falling asleep. He was actually running the entire meeting. He was running the entire meeting.
His mind was racing on everything that was being said, you know.
And she also said, quote, this epic moment put an exclamation point on President Trump's 9th cabinet meeting of a second term, all of which have been entirely open to the press for the whole world to see. Epic moment.
Can someone from the White House please not say epic moment? Like, this isn't a Call of Duty gameplay comp. This is the Donald Trump cabinet hearing.
And so Trump said about it, and this is...
Oh, he spoke.
Again, like, this is just objectively pretty funny in the sense that it's ludicrous, and he's going insane. He has lost his mind. He said, quote, I'll let you know when there's something wrong. There will be someday. That's going to happen to all of us. But right now, I think I'm sharper than I was 25 years ago. But who the hell knows?
Holy
what is he talking about?
Why after that would you be like, who knows? I mean,
why is he having a character arc throughout this presidency where he's like slowly coming to terms with his own mortality? Because, and we've talked about it before, he's made multiple comments about how he doesning think he's getting into heaven.
They do that in the Mr. Boss voice, and it would just sound like a regular line he would say from Smiling Friends. Who even knows, right?
Like, who talks like that?
No,
nobody talks like that. Like,
sharper than I was 25 years ago.
Yeah,
dude, I don't even think you remember who he was 25 years ago.
He then.
It's like, I had a TV show.
He then claimed that he got, quote, all A's on his physical. And again, despite the
fact his 25th physical of the month. Yeah. Like, I swear to God, every few weeks you hear this kid doing a physical or something.
Yeah,
something medical related.
Yeah. So they released results from his exam, medical exam, a couple days ago. And the doctors said that he, quote, remains in excellent overall health. Now it's hard to say like how entirely accurate that is. Because, and again, there was a report from a couple months ago that said his cardiovascular age was like decades younger than his biological age, which, and we talked about this when we talked about it before, that is not a thing. Like, doctors have said that is not a thing. That was like made up, despite the fact that was an official statement like from like his like practitioner.
Yeah.
Like
Dr. House.
So it might actually be, it might be like Hugh Laurie, like the actor who played him.
Yeah, he thinks Hugh Laurie's actually a doctor.
Yeah.
He brings
So look, like the official statement that came out from the doctor is that he's perfectly healthy, but I don't know. Especially when you're talking about an administration where the Secretary of Health is not a doctor.
He brought the cast of Scrubs in. Tell me what's wrong with me.
And he got an MRI, and he, infamously, I say infamously, but it was widely publicized like a week ago. He said he didn't know what part of the body the MRI was for. So
that's right. Wasn't he getting like pressed about that?
He was, yeah. And I saw somebody in a comment section somewhere say, I thought this was an amusing kind of, but they said like if you didn't know like what the MRI is for, that's why you got the MRI. So he's clearly very sharp. He's clearly all the way there.
Yeah,
this is a guy.
All these reasons he made it onto our list today.
Absolutely, absolutely. And one can only hope, maybe at a certain point we will stop electing presidents who are north of 80 years old. Donald Trump is 79, but close enough. Close enough.
I mean, we can only hope one day, right?
We can only hope. That's I'm just so excited for President Newsom and
President Newsom.
I'm so excited. I'm so excited. It's great.
Versus president candidate Mr. Beast.
I would leave. I would leave. I would leave. That would be my breaking
I
point.
would actually check who's in the independent.
I'm voting for Jill Stein. That's the case. I wouldn't. I would never do that. That's a joke. Be very clear. Oh my god. Okay. I'll pivot to you. I know you had a
Oh,
things.
yes.
Yeah. And this is something else. And this is actually, I think this is in connection to Drowsy Don, because this is some of the things that he was posting about on Truth Social the night prior, and this is why he was so tired.
Yeah. So, the quote here is from NPR. President Trump continued verbal attacks on Minnesota's Somalia community on Wednesday, which I didn't know this was. I really haven't heard about this before now, but this is a continued incident of him attacking the Somalia community. The quote here is here, Trump called immigrants from Somalia garbage and said, quote, they've destroyed our country, which, is just completely backed by science and truthful as everything Donald Trump says. But
Yes.
And so on top of this, he also talked about deporting Representative, what is it? Ilhan?
Ilhan.
Okay. Oh, Ilhan. Okay.
I believe.
He also talked about deporting Representative Ilhan Omar, a Minnesotan Democrat who represents the largest Somali American population in the U.S. So, and I should say he is a U.S. citizen. So it's like,
Yeah.
this is all coming. This feels like just like a rant from someone who has absolutely no idea what they're talking about.
So Ilhan Omar is also particularly progressive, which is probably makes her a more of a target for the deportation talk. I will say, like, Trump said the same thing about Zohran Mamdani before he met him, and clearly basically fell in love with him.
Yeah, now it's like they're best friends.
It's hard to take that seriously.
Anyone who's not white and talks against Trump, he's like, what if we deported him? Like, why? I don't understand. Like, I don't know why that's the first thing he goes to. Not just like, let's talk with them.
He's such a one-trick pony.
One-trick pony.
In this, like, you know what I mean? Like,
Deportation's your one trick. Honestly, I don't understand that at all. And it's been blowing up. I've been seeing stuff about it, about like the Somali community, especially like speaking up against it, because of course people should. This is insane.
It's the same attacks that have been happening against like the Latin American immigrants, Hispanic immigrants.
Any immigrant.
It's the same language that gets used for any which group of people. So it just gets old, and I guess there's a certain subset of the American people that continue to buy into it. I feel like people are growing tired of it.
Yeah, I think so too. Like I said, it's been happening. Literally every single group of immigrants there could possibly be, he's saying they're garbage or they should be deported. Like it's always something like that, and how they're the ones that are ruining this country.
Ultimately,
somehow,
I think when it comes to this administration, I think most of the accusations are like confessions and deflections.
Yeah,
because when you're talking about Somalians are destroying the country, like. No, the people who are destroying the country are actually
the person.
It's you.
The person who's saying
it's
it right
you
now.
and your friends, all white, by the way, of course.
Yeah.
Like, well, for the exception of Kash Patel.
Kash Patel, yeah.
And but that's
like, beside
the point.
Yeah, and I mean, like anything nowadays can be just like with Trump can be seen as just a deflection from the files. Like. Which
there's really not been any news on recently.
Yeah, there hasn't been.
So I don't know what's going on with that,
but Trump would rather say that than any news about the Epstein files coming out. He'd rather that him say the Somalian people are garbage than actually anyone else talk about the files. So
yeah. So yeah, it's just really rich when you make accusations of certain groups of people destroying the country. When you can ask a very simple question. Who was the group of people that were willing to let Americans starve so that they could jack their healthcare rates?
Yeah.
Well, that was you, actually.
Yeah.
That was you.
But no, yeah, it's the Somali people.
That wasn't the Somalian community. That was you.
But I mean, I bet you even if you brought it up, he wouldn't see it as a problem. Yeah. There'd be actually another problem going on. That's the Somalians' fault.
Yeah. Who is it that's slashing the budgets of the Department of Education, the Department of the Environment? That's you. Like, that's you, man.
Yeah, it's not surprising.
It's not surprising.
But I feel like an important headline that if you don't already know about, you should talk about.
Another kind of aspect to this.
Yeah.
So going back to more so of the Latin American community, immigrant community, the New York Times published an article today, which basically confirms what we've known for a long time, is that the majority of the deportations, arrests, just to clarify the terminology there, the majority of the arrests made by Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE, are of people who do not have criminal convictions. And if they do have criminal convictions, they are like traffic violations for the majority of those people. And this is despite the fact that the posturing from the administration continues to be, what's the quote here? So Tricia McLaughlin, a spokeswoman for the Department of Homeland Security, said that DHS is targeting the worst of the worst criminal illegal aliens, including murderers, rapists, gang members, pedophiles, and terrorists. And I mean, you can say that all you want, but the data is saying that is just totally
also,
not
yeah,
right.
I mean, if they're trying to say like, oh, they haven't been caught or anything, this is us finally catching them. Like, oh, and they'll probably say there's mountains of proof and evidence that we notice is not true.
And ultimately, here's the thing that I think is like funniest about it: the way that they talk about these issues is as if under the Biden presidency, if you were like a Mexican immigrant and you were a rapist, that you just weren't going to be charged for that.
Yeah,
like that's not how that works.
That's like we're finally catching them since Biden would just let them roam the streets. Like, no, that's not.
It's like seriously, like the mindset is that like if you were an undocumented immigrant and you committed a crime, that was like a get out of jail free card. Like, we were already arresting criminals in the United States of America. This isn't a new thing that we're doing.
Wait a minute. What if we caught the bad guys? Like, that's what they're thinking. Like,
it's like, well, I hate to break it to you, that's been happening forever.
Wait, what if we have like a law enforcement that stopped the bad guys?
I don't know. That's the language that the administration is using. It's incorrect.
This whole administration is just saying sentences without backing any of it up, and so hearing a sentence like that they're the ones that are stopping all the criminals is just it's a nothing burger of a sentence.
So, and here are those statistics that are really telling.
Yeah. Okay.
So, 66% of the arrests made by ICE, 66%, 2/3, do not have a criminal conviction.
Oh my God.
Of the people that do have a past criminal conviction, not of the people, of all arrests.
Yep.
7% have a violent conviction. 7%. 7%. 37% have a conviction that is nonviolent. So again, basically, 66% of the people do not have a criminal charge.
Yep.
37% of the people have one that is not violent.
Mm-hmm.
And only 7% have a violent conviction. So when they're saying that they're getting the worst of the worst, that's just not true.
This is not true at
all.
all.
True at all.
But yes, I mean, you're saying making all these claims, and then the data comes out and it's only 7%. Why would you even? I don't understand why they would make these claims if, besides just to trick people who don't know any better.
Yes.
I guess that'd be the reason.
I think that's entirely the point. And I think what's more damning, arguably, I believe, is obviously you're aware, and you as a viewer probably are as well. The administration has sent in multiple kind of federal agencies into large American cities to carry out the deportation agenda. That is, just to name a few, Los Angeles, Washington, D.C., the Boston area, Massachusetts as a whole, and Chicago and Illinois as a whole. Now, this is where it really gets crazy to me. So, in Washington, D.C., for example, 84% of people that were arrested by ICE, 84%, 84, no criminal charges. No charges, no convictions, 84% of the people arrested.
If that's not like clear that the ICE officers are just picking up whoever they want off the street because now they can racially profile, just, hey, you, and then they get arrested. Like, that's it.
Yep. In Washington, D.C., Massachusetts, and Illinois, respectively, the percentage of immigrants that were arrested by ICE that are violent offenders, again, the people that they would have you believe are like the only people that are getting arrested. Washington, D.C., Massachusetts, and Illinois, respectively, those percentages of people with violent convictions are 2%, 2%, and 3%. So
yeah,
it's just not true. The messaging is just false.
If you are still now believing that ICE is like doing the right thing here and really stopping the criminals, look at the data. Like especially now that all this is out, like you cannot even defend that.
I don't know, because I think if you want to have a take on immigration that is level-headed, you can say, well, the way we do things is messy. It takes too long for people to get citizenship. We need to clean this system up and just make it easier and more accessible for people who like are here for the right reasons to get citizenship, and even if not citizenship, work papers, kind of visas, green cards, et cetera, et cetera. I just don't think the solution is ever going to be this, because you see the results, and like these, like the numbers don't lie.
But yeah, do you think the administration doesn't care at all?
No,
how many
they
families
don't
they
care.
how many families they break up, and so, to them the ends justify the means, even though the ends aren't even. Like you said, it's 7%. Like that's the ends of all of this are 7%. That's not.
Nationally 7%, and again,
nationally 7%.
In these cities, it's
as
low as 2%. So
your very low ends are somehow justifying these crazy means that are disrupting everything.
Yeah, and like you said, tearing families apart, like totally disrupting, and like
and you hear about these the centers, like the facilities where they take the people who are arrested. Like they're not good.
They're not good. No, they're not. It's I have thought this for basically as long as the administration has been in office. But if you would disagree with the statement that once this administration is done being in power, that most of the people involved need to go to jail, you're not paying attention, because this is absurd.
Yeah, like this isn't even just Trump too. Like this is a lot of people are allowing this to happen.
If Democrats get into power in 2028, and I say that because if you don't have the presidency, you really don't have too much power.
Yeah.
Midterms are obviously important. That's a different discussion.
Oh, yeah,
but I say 2028 just because of that. If Democrats can get into power in 2028, and if they are any sort of serious political party with any sort of backbone, there is going to be trials for the things that have happened under this administration, and there's going to be convictions. Yes. Because they're doing everything in broad daylight. They are giving you the evidence. They are telling you proudly what they are doing because they think it somehow serves their purpose. It somehow kind of supports their agenda. The evidence is there. They're doing things that are legal. And this immigration aspect or agenda is just one of the things. If these people are not held accountable, and I'm talking Donald Trump, if he's still alive at that point. Donald Trump, Kristi Noem, Tom Homan. If these people are not held accountable for this, then we are not a serious country. And I understand that that's looking forward a few years here, but that is just something that needs to happen. And again, if you are in any way skeptical of that statement, I would respectfully say that I just don't think you're paying attention enough.
Yeah, and also it's like, how are I gotta imagine Kristi Noem and all of them are shaking in their boots imagining the next presidency. Like they know, they have to know. They can't be that ignorant. I know the Trump administration is super powerful now, but as soon as that's over,
exactly. And look, like his popularity rate, not popularity rates, his approval ratings are continue to be at lows for his second term here. We saw what happened in the most recent elections, and you can only speculate as to what would happen in the midterms. I understand, but momentum is momentum, and presidential approval ratings rarely ever go up. So it's hard to imagine a reality where this ends up panning out well for the Trump administration. And it's like, hey guys, I hope you had your fun. Good luck, because you're gonna need it.
What do we? Not even a year in, and it's like these approval ratings the lowest they've ever been for him.
Yeah.
And I don't know how you're still holding on to the Trump boat and thinking, this is where I need to be. Like, you need to jump ship.
And we see that happening a little bit. And I think there's a story here that I'm going to get to in a second. But it's like, like I said, like, I hope it's worth it, guys. I hope that these, 4 years, if even 4 years, because look, the midterms, when it comes to the midterms, in a lot of ways, the presidency can effectively be nullified if Democrats can get power in the midterms.
Yeah, which
in Congress.
From what it looks like now, obviously speculating, it's a long time from now. It seems like we're headed that way.
It would seem so. And again, I don't even want to be like, you should still go vote.
Yeah. Oh my God.
It's
Yeah.
so long
That's
from
not
now,
saying it's
it's-
dead. No. Yeah. Please go vote.
No,
Yeah.
absolutely. But no, you're right. The central point there is absolutely correct. But hey, like I hope that these 2 to 4 years of fun for you, I hope you find in the end that it was worth it.
Yeah.
I hope in 4 years when you're rotting in a jail cell, I hope you think it was worth it.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, and it's tough too because like obviously like if it's like a Republican president one year, Democrat the next, it's like anything the Republican president does just gets like switched around when a Democratic one, and then that gets switched around the next time. But you can't switch around. You can't like fix all these people that are just getting arrested. Like
the damage that has been done to this country under this administration in just, I mean, what is it? It's December now, so not even quite 11 months. The damage that has been done in this period of time already is going to take at least a generation, a whole
oh my
generation.
God,
to
it's
repair.
gonna take a long time.
And yeah,
So
so
we're still not even through a year.
no, not even through a year.
Jesus.
But to your point about Republicans jumping ship, that is something that we've seen, and we talked about it at length with the Epstein files.
Yes.
And the Republican Party, I am not a Republican. I'm not in Republican circles. I don't know how these people are feeling, like personally right now.
Yeah.
But the fallout, or if not fallout, the kind of rift continues to seem to grow here. And one of the symptoms of that is Speaker Mike Johnson of the House of Representatives is facing some open backlash from the Republican Party. Members of his own party saying that they do not believe that he is either qualified or competent enough to carry out that duty.
Dude, even when your own party's saying that, like,
Yeah, and it's been kind of boiling under for a while now, but this has come to the forefront a little bit. So that there are a few, and funnily enough, it's Republican women mainly who have come out and said this. And so Representative Elise Stefanik of New York called Speaker Mike Johnson a habitual liar.
oh my God.
Representative Nancy Mace, according to the New York Times of South Carolina, has told people she is so frustrated with the Louisiana Republican and sick of the way he has run the House, particularly how women are treated there, that she's planning to huddle with Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene of Georgia next week to discuss following her lead and retiring early from Congress. And the only observation I have about that is shocker that the political party that has built a lot of its base around taking rights away from women, shocker that they don't treat Republican women in Congress well. It's so surprising.
I
Who
could
have
never could have seen that coming.
Who could have possibly guessed that? So that's all I have to say about that.
But I mean, glad it's happening now. If it's ever,
Yeah.
I mean, like, silver lining here is happening. But they're finally deciding that, hey, like maybe the Senate doesn't treat women's rights very well. Maybe not treat women well. I don't know.
Yeah. So people just are not a fan of the way he's conducting himself in the House of Representatives. They're not a fan of the way he's running the House of Representatives.
Yeah.
Because
You love to hear your Speaker of the House be called a habitual liar.
yeah,
That's always the word you want to be described as.
So Representative Kevin Kiley, a California Republican, said, quote, "Rarely have things been completely harmonious in the conference, but it does seem that there is an unusually high level of discontent. The overriding issue is the House has not been at the forefront of driving policymaking or the agenda in Washington. This is naturally going to be frustrating to members who ran for Congress to make an impact on issues they care about." And that a rare level-headed take from a Republican, because
Yeah.
I agree with the sentiment there that Congress should be the main driver of legislation that gets passed in this country. That was the intent of the Constitution when it was written nearly 250 years ago.
Yeah.
But what we're seeing now is that Donald Trump is basically dictating all of the policy that is coming out of Washington.
Wow. Yeah. Actually, it's like that is a crazy statement coming from a Republican. And
Yeah.
I mean, hopefully we can see this grow. Hopefully we can see them, like, more people start being like, hey, like, because I think it's the first step. I think that's always the scariest for Republicans in a sense of like, because the last thing you want is to be on Trump's radar in a bad way. Because he's just going to be all over Truth Social talking about you, like we saw with Marjorie Taylor Greene. But I think Marjorie Taylor Greene set an example that you can do it, and I think that's honestly inspiring people, other Republicans, to do it as well.
Yeah, Marjorie Taylor Greene's an interesting one too, though, and I know Connor had said this a minute ago. I can't for sure remember if we had spoken at length about Marjorie Taylor Greene on the show in prior episodes, but that's a very interesting case because if you're not aware, I'm sure you are, but she has announced that she's going to be retiring from Congress after her term. She very publicly split with Donald Trump on the issue of the Epstein files.
Mm-hmm.
I think Trump did put out a Truth Social post calling her Marjorie Taylor Brown, because grass turns brown when it rots.
What a poet.
And again, that's why I said at the beginning of the show that he used to be good at nicknames, because that is awful. That is just awful. Like, there is no effort there. It's terrible.
That's really bad. He ChatGPT'd that one, but
Not even. I think ChatGPT would come up with something more clever for you. Regardless.
yeah.
Marjorie Taylor Greene's an interesting one because she's retiring, so it's hard to say what the political ramifications of that would have been. Does that make sense? Because she's not. If she was running for re-election, that would have been very interesting to see.
That would have been,
because he basically said that had she ran for re-election, he was going to put up a primary opponent to try and defeat her.
Mm-hmm.
We're not going to get to see how that would have played out because, she is retiring from Congress. There's a lot of speculation about how she's kind of playing the long game here, and maybe she's going to try and run for a higher office, whether that be some sort of governorship or as senator. I have no idea. She has made no public statements about that. It's really, really, it's an odd impasse for the Republican Party. It's really hard for me to say where they end up even a year from now.
Mm-hmm.
I would think that the logical thing here, though, like you said, is to jump ship, because it seems like it's sinking.
The ship is sinking, and it's been sinking. And so I feel like, especially with the whole Epstein files thing a while ago, and when everyone was like, they were going to vote to release them, the House at least, and making Trump go like, yeah, just release them. Like, that was a huge thing. That made Trump fold.
Yeah.
We haven't seen that. And so, like, that.
It's interesting to see, and maybe like a little bit reassuring, even though the Republican Party rarely gives you
any reassurance.
It rarely does. And it's not even that they're doing it, but I think it's interesting to see that politics like still do matter in this country, if that makes any sense, to the extent that Donald Trump fought tooth and nail, and I'm not going to reiterate this too much because we talked about this at length, but Donald Trump fought tooth and nail to not get the Epstein files released.
Mm-hmm.
But his Republican kind of colleagues in Congress knew that was just not something that they could vote against.
Oh my God, yeah.
If not all of them, many of them, the reporting prior to him saying, "Oh, you can all vote to release it," and of course, it was unanimous at that point.
Oh yeah.
Prior to that, the reporting was that upwards of 100 congressional House Republicans were ready to flip and vote to release it.
That was just a rumor, right?
It was just a rumor,
but
and again, we'll never know because it happened.
Well, and Trump would never want us to know.
No.
But with how things turned out, it seems like that's kind of what was going to be the case.
Yes.
It's tough to say, but.
And my point in all of this is that it's interesting to see that, to an extent, like, it does still matter to these congressional Republicans what the American people believe and what they want. Because for a long time, I say a long time, it's not even a year into this presidency.
Yeah.
I guess for what, the first 6 or so months of the presidency, it really just seemed like whatever Donald Trump wanted, that's what was going to happen, and the wants and needs of the American people really just weren't going to matter. I think we're seeing that, people are realizing that at the end of the day they have to get voted back into office.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the extent to which they are going to depart with him, we're seeing a little bit of it already, but the extent to which it's going to continue to happen, hard to say, impossible to say. But look, costs are not going down in this country. The Epstein files really have not been released in any meaningful way. I understand after the passage of that bill, there's kind of a process for that sort of thing. But
yeah,
I mean, it's been nearly a month. There's nothing out on that. So
yeah, I'm actually excited for when we come back next semester, and if anything's even happened with it over winter break with the Epstein files. But you're right. I mean, nothing is looking up right now. I mean, like, a lot of things aren't looking up. And a lot of it is Trump's fault, if not all of it. And so Republicans have to be looking at this, being like at a certain point, they got to jump ship.
The pragmatic thing to do in the situation, and if this gives you hope for the country in the way that I said, where politics are still important, or if it makes you even more cynical as to where you look at it of like, politicians are just going to do whatever it takes to stay in power. I understand that too.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, like I think if you are a congressional Republican at this point in time, I think the self-preservation move, if you want to get reelected, I just don't know if hitching your trailer to Donald Trump at this point is very smart.
Oh no, it's not at all. I wouldn't think, but like I see what you mean, like the whole cynical side of just like, oh, they're gonna just change how they think just so they can stay in power. And it's like, honestly, as long as it gets like Trump, as long as we like deduce Trump's power or reduce Trump's power,
yeah.
that's enough for me. Honestly, I don't care as long as we can like take away Trump's power and like make things.
It's hard to sit here and ask for like a 5-course meal right now in terms of like solutions. Just as long as
things
can improve.
Yeah, obviously there's a perfect world where everyone's so nice to each other and all this and that, but I mean, obviously these politicians are going to look out for themselves. They want to get reelected. This is how you're going to get reelected, and you're going to have to change the way you think sometimes.
Yeah, and it's just
and for the American people, that's better to be against Trump in this scenario.
Yeah. So again, this is all reckless speculation.
Yeah, I guess.
But
yeah.
It's an interesting thing to observe, and I mean, look, even if Mike Johnson is unseated as the Speaker of the House, which I don't even know if there's necessarily serious talks about that at this point.
Yeah.
At this point in time, it would still be Republican, so it's almost like, who cares? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, at the end of the day, like, under this administration, with the current shape of the Republican Party, it still would be Trump basically dictating policy. And again, that should I truly don't believe that should be the case under any presidential administration. But that's just me. I mean, if you have a different perspective on that, that's fair enough. But like, I think that's just, but whatever.
Yeah.
Anyways, that was.
Yeah, I think talks of unseating Mike Johnson, if it's gonna happen, it won't be for a while. If these would just be the seeds that are being planted.
I mean,
right
look,
now for that,
hopefully he's unseated about 13 months from now, in a world where Democrats win power in the midterms and they are seated in January.
Yeah, the best timeline right there.
Yeah, hopefully.
In this already dark timeline.
Yeah, hopefully. That's how I would like to see it happen. But
that'd be crazy to see that build up.
Yeah. Anyways, I think maybe one of the biggest stories of this past week we have not touched on yet, which is the potential alleged war crimes that have occurred in the Caribbean.
Yeah, so we've actually been talking about this kind of stuff for a while with the boats being exploded, and if you haven't already been listening, but
and they're sorry, what were you gonna say?
Honestly, but now we're finally kind of seeing it become like steamroll and start picking up some
and again
tension.
Who would have thought that that this was gonna turn into a thing? It already was a thing.
Yeah,
because there's a few layers to this. I feel like every time I say like, oh, in the Constitution, like that, they don't care. They don't care.
Unless it's the Second Amendment.
That's true. That's true. Or if it's the First Amendment and they're saying like hateful shit.
Yeah.
But according to the Constitution, it is not the president's authority to wage war. It just isn't.
Yeah.
Congress has to declare war. But despite the fact that Congress has not declared war on these narco-terrorists, and that is the term that the administration is using.
Supposed, we don't even actually know what.
Supposed, yeah. There's no evidence has been presented to the public that is in any way convincing that is actually what.
Yeah, I think they said they have evidence, but failed to actually show or provide any.
Exactly. That is what it is.
Which is
so that's the first layer. So just to begin with. It's very constitutionally dubious, in my view. Probably very illegal for the United States to be engaging in this sort of behavior when Congress has had no say in it.
Yeah,
and this is another area where you will see. Granted, I don't believe as many, but Rand Paul has been on the news quite a bit, saying for a while now that this is something that is unsettling for him. Mm-hmm. Which you can have varying levels of care about Rand Paul's opinions, but I understand. But just to put that out there. But the reporting that came out probably about a week ago at this point. But back in September, it was alleged that there was an order from Pete Hegseth to kill everybody on this one particular boat. They had struck the boat once, after which they saw two men clinging to the wreckage of this boat, and then they fired on those people, killing them.
Yeah.
And that, if that is what had happened, and I say if because none of this is confirmed as of right now.
Yeah.
If that is how things happened, that is a war crime.
Mm-hmm.
That is, not only is it a war crime, it is illegal under the Uniform Code of Military Justice for members of the military.
Mm-hmm.
Multiple things to that.
Yeah, and as if the first strike wasn't even a deletion of due process at all for showing no evidence that even there was anything happening on that boat.
Yes. Yeah.
Shoot a missile at it, whatever. 2 people survive it, and now you're like, it's a complete war crime to just say like, yeah, kill them all.
So the reporting has been ongoing, and there might even be more information by the time you're watching this episode.
Yeah.
As of today, the reporting seems to suggest that people who were speaking to the Armed Services and Intelligence Committees in the House and the Senate were saying that there was no order from Hegseth to, quote, kill everybody, which is what the Washington Post had reported a few days ago.
Okay.
So apparently that was not an order that came from Hegseth. But look, it still happened.
It's still, someone, look, yeah.
Somebody gave that order.
Somebody gave it. There was a war crime happened.
Yes.
Who's responsible is kind of on it.
And so
From what we can tell.
there have been reactions to this that do kind of split party lines.
Mm-hmm.
So
I also want to say that, like, because we're talking about some like ongoing stuff right now, it is December 4th as we're filming this.
yes, it's
So
December
if you're
4th currently.
watching this obviously at a later date, there's some things may have changed.
So sorry, what's his name? I gotta find it here.
Pete.
So Representative Jim Hines, not Pete, Representative Jim Hines, a top Democrat on the House Intelligence Committee, spoke with reporters after the briefings. This is coming from CBS News. He said that, quote, "What I saw in that room was one of the most troubling things I've seen in my time in public service. You have 2 individuals in clear distress without any means of locomotion with a destroyed vessel who were killed by the United States." Yeah, he said, quote, "Any American who sees the video that I saw will see the United States military attacking shipwrecked sailors. Bad guys, but attacking shipwrecked sailors. There's a whole set of contextual items that the Admiral explained. Yes, they were carrying drugs. They were not in a position to continue their mission in any way. People will someday see this video, and they will see that the video shows, if you don't have the broader context, an attack on shipwrecked sailors." And the important thing is attack on shipwrecked sailors there, because that's what the war crime is.
That's what the war.
Yeah,
if we haven't
if
fully
somebody
explained that, yeah.
if somebody is a non-combatant, you cannot just kill them, because that's
just because, yeah.
you cannot do. That's a war crime. Yeah. Sorry. What's that?
Again, like the quotes from every politician talking about this administration are just so great, with habitual liar and now like the most
One of the most distressing things. Yeah.
Like, and no quotes from this administration, from other politicians about the last like year or so, I guess, have been good at all. Like, no one is saying anything good about this. And we could speculate, we can think all this and that, but hearing a direct quote from a politician like that, it just makes it like so much worse.
Now, just a few more quotes from this. Senator Chris Coons of Delaware, top Democrat on the Senate Appropriations Defense Subcommittee, were briefed on the matter. He said, quote, "The underlying judgment that frames this entire operation is that if there is a boat with narcotics and people who are affiliated with a narcotics trafficking organization, that's a legitimate target. I've still got questions about that." So it seems like some people that were briefed on this were maybe more convinced than others that these were in fact carrying drugs at all. And again, we don't really know, because that information has not been released to the public.
Yeah, and if you can just strike them down. Like,
that's the main thing. Yeah, that's the main thing.
Yeah, the problem is it feels like a lot of people are uncertain about this, yet they're still just allowing it happen within the administration, or in this exact instance right then. Like just like us, I think a lot of people in the administration and politics like this are also being like, wait, what's going on? Like, why is this happening? And are seemingly doing nothing about it. Not that they have a lot of power all the time, but still.
And the legality of the strikes in the first place are dubious, if not pretty clear, depending on your perspective, because the president doesn't have the authority to unilaterally wage war. He just doesn't. Mm-hmm. And again, like the evidence that these are definitely carrying drugs has not been put out there.
Like, the data gets put out, okay, then that's different. But we have absolutely nothing to build that. They have nothing to build that case off of so far.
even if you are to assume that every single one of these vessels is carrying narcotics, which I find unlikely that every single one they correctly identify. I don't know. Maybe it's possible. Maybe that is what it is.
But I mean,
we don't know. Again, we don't know. But Rand Paul, when spoken to about it, said that even if these were carrying narcotics on them, these small vessels would have to refuel upwards of 20 times to actually get to the United States.
oh my
So
god.
the narrative is that these vessels were bound for the United States when they really just weren't. They're not. And
I mean, like you said, you may have opinions on Rand Paul and stuff like that, but like what he's saying is kind of echoing what a lot of people are thinking.
yes,
Like, I mean, like, because I can't believe the Trump administration is like, come on, take my word on this one. It's like, what? You have given us absolutely nothing that we should ever take your word for anything.
yes.
And so the fact they want us to do it about this,
And so I think the really
why?
odd part about this, the part that kind of cultivates some speculation, is that the main target of these, I should have said this at the offset, so I apologize, but it's the country of Venezuela
Oh yes,
in South America. The leader of which is Nicolas Maduro, who is definitely an authoritarian leader, not a good guy by any means.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the thing, though. The narrative from the Trump administration is that they're doing these because Venezuela is one of the primary countries that is flooding drugs into the United States, like fentanyl and cocaine. That just, the data doesn't match that assertion.
Of course.
So I'm getting this from the BBC. They say counter-narcotic experts have pointed out that Venezuela is a relatively minor player in global drug trafficking, and that it acts as a transit country through which drugs produced elsewhere are smuggled on their way to their final destination. Its neighbor Colombia is the world's largest producer of cocaine, but most of it is smuggled to the U.S. by other routes, not via Venezuela. According to a U.S. Drug Enforcement Administration report from 2020, almost 3/4 of the cocaine reaching the U.S. is estimated to be trafficked via the Pacific, with just a small percentage coming via fast boats in the Caribbean. Nevertheless, most of the strikes the U.S. has carried out have been in the Caribbean, with just a few in the Pacific. So, and again, just to be very clear, the Venezuela is not on the Pacific; it's on the Atlantic.
Yeah.
And most of the drug flow that is coming into the United States is coming through Mexico, through the Pacific coast, and that is those are the facts of the matter. They're not coming from Venezuela. They're not necessarily being produced in Venezuela, and they're not necessarily coming from Venezuela either directly. So, what is really happening here?
Yeah, it confuses me because either is the Trump administration really that misinformed to think that this like Venezuelan boats are the problem here? Or is there something else going on? I mean, it sounds like something else is going on here for them to start attacking other boats.
I won't bore you with too many more quotes here, but this one I think is also important.
Oh, yeah, good.
So fentanyl is one of the main things that Trump has been talking about. Obviously, not a good drug. You don't want it. You don't want it. But in September, Trump told U.S. military leaders that the boats targeted are stacked up with bags of white powder. That's mostly fentanyl and other drugs, too. However, fentanyl is produced mainly in Mexico and reaches the U.S. almost exclusively via land through its southern border. According to the 2025 National Drug Threat Assessment, the annual report produced by the U.S. Drug Enforcement Administration, fentanyl transportation into and through the U.S. is dominated by Mexican transnational criminal organizations, with the southwest border as the main entry point for fentanyl entering the U.S. Venezuela is not mentioned in the report as a country of origin for fentanyl smuggled into the U.S.
Who had the first quote up there at the beginning, talking about the on the boats, like the bags?
That was Trump that said they were stacked to the brim.
He's acting like he's on the boat. He's acting like he was on the boat, saw it, and then it was like, you know what, we got to blow this up. Like,
yeah.
He has no proof of that, and if he, I mean, like I said, if there is proof and there's evidence, they probably would have shown it by now.
So I think this is maybe the most, not fascinating, because fascinating gives it like a positive connotation.
Yeah.
One of the things that casts the most doubt upon all of this to me is that the foundation of this military operation is that a large portion of the drugs that are coming to the United States are either produced in or coming from Venezuela, when, as I just said, that is not the case. It's not the case.
Yeah.
If that is truly what the intention was, then there are other countries that would be the target of this, not Venezuela.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to get into too much speculation about this because it opens the door for a lot of speculation. Venezuela is a very oil-rich country. Nicolas Maduro is not friendly with the United States.
Mm-hmm.
So the United States is not really getting much access to that. You can do with that information what you will.
Yeah.
I'm not going to get into it right now.
Just something to think about.
Bottom
honestly.
line, all of this is very sketchy. because when the foundation of this entire thing is a lie, that casts a lot of doubt upon everything. In my opinion.
There is definitely something shady going on beneath all this.
Yeah.
Like I said, they would have released any evidence. They should have, or if they would have released evidence if they had it for the drugs that are apparently on all these boats that the data does not support. So
yeah.
I had stuff to say.
I'm sorry. I just because this is so shocking and also seems so unproductive, like not productive.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I remember talking about this with my dad, who's I don't know if I mentioned it. He's ex-Navy. He knows and was telling me that this sort of more standard procedure is if these boats are caught off the coast, the Coast Guard comes in and boards the vessel or whatever and confiscates and maybe detains whoever's on it,
Mm-hmm.
and they aren't killed.
Yeah.
But in this example, they're not being boarded and detained off the coast of California. It's off the coast of Venezuela, with the entire, not the entire, but the might of the United States Navy, the biggest
Mm-hmm.
naval
Force
body or whatever in I think world history. And it's the only thing I can think is he trying to get them to hit back so that they can do something? Because we don't have to include this too. I'm just that's the only thing I can think of that so they can be see, they hit us. Now we can go do something way worse, because that's the only thing I can think of.
Yeah.
What do you get out of destroying these 1 or 2 man boats?
Nothing.
Yeah, I mean,
even if they were all stacked to the nines with cocaine and fentanyl, destroying these, little skiffs, it doesn't get you fucking anywhere.
No.
Yeah, honestly, he's looking for an excuse to invade Venezuela. For all the oil and stuff. It sounds like that, but honestly, who the hell knows?
I cannot put those 2 and 2 together.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's
Really, really weird.
and it's just I don't know how it would be justified from an electoral position, because he campaigned, and I say that in the sense that Donald Trump campaigned as the peace president, that war is terrible and war is bad, which it is.
Mm-hmm.
And he said that he would not get the U.S. in any wars, that we're going to keep our people safe. So it's what's this then, man? What's, I don't know. Yeah, it's and again, and that's where it opens the door for a lot of speculation. I don't really think that that's necessarily what we do here, so that's up to you.
Yeah.
But look, it's the whole thing's fishy. So just
and speaking of peace, I can actually transition this into the
it's good.
other thing I had. I don't have a lot on this. It's more of open to discussion with us. But I found out in the New York Times that Trump renames the Institute of Peace for himself. Now, this is something we've been talking about for a while with Trump, just the Trump coin, the Trump, the Arc de Trump, stuff like that. And then I believe the Commanders Stadium, he wanted
that to be named after him.
Yeah. And so it seems like he's finally doing some of that, of naming himself. It says that workers installed the president's name on the Washington Institute, thrusting it back into the spotlight as it is set to host a sign of a peace deal between Rwanda and Congo.
So, my main takeaway from that, and this might be a shallow takeaway, is that he has no actual friends in his corner, because if he had actual friends in his life and he told them hey, I'm gonna name this building after me. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm naming this building after me. If he had actual friends in his life, they would come to him and they'd say Donald, that's kind of douchey, man.
Yeah.
Don't that's
Don.
I love you, but that's don't do that. You know what I mean? But
a little scummy Don.
yeah, it's you know what I mean? Because if I told you that I was naming this office after me, I know that you'd be like,
why would you do that?
Why are you doing that?
Yeah. And that's extremely ironic also for Trump. And they're doing it for the Institute of Peace. I feel like that's a
Institute of Peace,
especially after everything we just talked about.
As he is exploding boats in the Caribbean that are not.
It's got peace written all over it.
Yeah, peace written all over it. The guy loves peace, as we all know. He's ended 7 wars, as he said. That's an accurate claim.
Backed by a lot of science and data.
Backed by a lot of science. Unrelated, but I vaguely recall him saying during the campaign trail that he'd have the Russia-Ukraine conflict ended in a day. It's been 10 months, so 11
pretty
months
much
actually.
Close enough.
Close enough. Yeah.
yeah,
I mean, it's a rounding error, I think.
Yeah, honestly.
And any day now he will have it figured out.
Oh,
But
yeah,
anyways, that was unrelated, like I said. The guy loves peace and he's really good at it, so I think it's valid.
It only makes sense that his
It
name would be
only
on
makes
and in
sense. It
front
makes a
of
lot
the.
of
And you
sense.
should look it up because it's pretty comically just there. It feels so out of place. Honestly, it's just on the wall next to where it says Institute of Peace, and above it just says Donald Trump.
Yep.
I mean, like I said, I don't have much more than that. It's just open discussion that like we've been talking about for a while, and he's finally just deciding to be like, screw it, Institute of Peace, sure, put my name on it. Go ahead, put my name on a KFC.
You know,
too.
maybe
Like,
he would actually love that. I think.
I think he would.
I
Yeah,
think he would love that. You know, maybe we're reaching a point where because clearly he's accepted his own mortality. We know that. So he's probably thinking like, this
is my legacy.
He's like, you know, if I'm not getting into heaven, if I've given up hope on heaven, maybe. This is so unrelated. This is fucking stupid. But have you seen the movie Coco? You know how you know how the thing in Coco is like, as long as like you're not forgotten, like you will like stay alive in the afterlife.
Yeah. Oh my god.
I think he saw that movie and that's how he thinks it works now. So like maybe he's not going to heaven, but as long as he can be remembered, that's enough for him. He'll stay in his corporeal form.
He'll watch in the skeleton form.
Yeah.
He'll see the Democrats ripping off Donald Trump off the Institute of Peace. No. Like, I mean, yeah. I honestly though, I would totally buy it if he started. It's like, I love Coco. Really great documentary about the afterlife. I like honestly would not be shocked at all. And
his current mental state, you probably could sit him in front of a Pixar movie and you think it's a documentary. No.
you watch Up and think it's Biden.
So not the old one, but the new Lion King that's live action. I think if you sat him in front of the new Lion King and said, Donald, you have to watch this new nature documentary. It's great. He would sit down, eating a bucket of KFC, and he would totally buy it. He'd be like, I love the lions. They talk so beautifully.
The king lion, he talks just like me. That's just how I would talk.
It's like I didn't know that they talked.
The light shines on my kingdom too, man.
So. And I really do believe that. I believe that you could convince him of that. At this point in time.
He's like, whenever he's in the room by himself, he's like talking. He's like, anger, stop being so angry. It's like talking to his emotions, like inside out.
His understanding of neuroscience probably is inside out too as well. That's yeah. But yeah. Oh my god. I think we had a. Mm-hmm. We covered a lot today.
Yeah. I mean, it's a good amount going on as always.
Going on, yeah.
There's going to be a lot.
Like I think there's a lot of really bad things going on, but I think the momentum that we have after Election Day and
oh my god, yeah,
the various amounts of things happening. Just keep the pressure up. I think we can be looking towards getting to a much better place with this going into the midterms. Which I mean, hey, the New Year's coming up. It's December now, so if you want to just tell yourself that. When the new year arrives, 2026, that is the midterms year, which is kind of crazy, right?
Yeah.
Like it feels like it's been forever, but then it's like, oh, it's only been 10 months. But then again, on the other side, it's about to be 2026 and that 2026 is midterms. So, you can find yourself on, either end of the seesaw there.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I mean, yeah, there's a lot to look forward to in 2026. Even with all the
hopefully GTA 6.
I was gonna say
Grand Theft Auto 6.
Midterms, GTA 6. There's a lot going on.
That's actually oh my god.
Wait. Wait. When is the actual midterms? Like the.
So I don't know when specifically it would be, but Election Day is the first Tuesday of every month.
Okay. Yeah.
So. GTA 6 would be coming out after that. Because
it's right.
I want to say the release date's like the 22nd or something.
Do you vote? Or do you play GTA 6?
Luckily, I won't have to make that decision. Luckily, because I don't know if I can make any promises.
No comment on the decision,
I'm just kidding. But that would be, wait. No exaggeration. or maybe a little bit. If because I say shit like this, and like I have a loving girlfriend who I have like, you know, an anniversary with and whatnot. If the Democrats have a good midterm and GTA 6 ends up getting released in November of next year, that might be the best month of my life so far. And Olivia, if you're watching this, Olivia, I'm just kidding.
It's a joke, but also that would be top 10 month, top 5, top 3 month of all time.
It'd be more.
If we win the midterms,
Yeah.
and then GTA 6 drops right after.
Yeah, I'll probably be unemployed at that point in time because I'll be graduated. So, but that's good though, because I'll have nothing else to do. I'll just play GTA all day.
What a life!
What a life.
Unemployed, playing GTA 6.
What a life.
Celebrating the midterms.
Yeah, because
Watch. I mean, with the way things have been going, darkest timeline. F it. GTA 6 is delayed 5 years, so we lose the midterms, and you have a job.
that's. I don't put that in my mind, man. Go on, no. I'm not trying.
But
to
that's
do that.
not gonna happen. We're gonna have a great 2026, and so are you. And
You are too. Yes.
and
you are
especially
too.
with the holiday season coming up, be cheery, be jolly.
Yes. As if you've made it this far, I'm gonna transfer all of our good energy into you,
Yes.
because that works. That works.
Yeah, backed by science, just like the Trump administration.
Yes.
So, but on that note, it's been a great season.
It's been a great,
season.
wonderful season.
Yeah.
I couldn't have asked for a better semester.
Mhm.
Doing this with all of you, everybody in this room, and all of you watching, who are, you know,
It's an honor.
it's an honor, it's a privilege, it's the best time. It's a wonderful time doing it.
Even if we're not always talking about the happiest, most joyful things, it is always great to stay informed.
It's yes,
And
that's the most important.
to have
thing.
these conversations and to invite you with them.
Yes, and again, I hope you all have just, you know, the best possible holiday season you could possibly have. Go into the new year with that optimism, that hope in your heart. I feel that's the best way to do it. But yeah, I mean, I guess for us, for this year,
Yeah.
that's pretty much a wrap for us.
Mhm.
You'll see us again.
We get back on January 20th.
We do.
Yeah.
So
either
like late January,
late January, early
Okay.
February,
We get back on Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Tuesday. So yeah, you'll see us relatively soon in January.
It won't be that long.
It won't be. I know
be
you're
that
gonna miss us, but it won't be that
I
long.
know, and we're gonna miss you.
Yeah,
Gee whiz,
I'm gonna miss you
I miss you.
and you, Connor.
I got mentioned.
But yeah, I almost want to draw it out because I don't want to say it's over for the semester, but
I know it is,
unfortunately.
sadly, but
But we're gonna have a beautiful spring.
a beautiful.
Wonderful.
Beautiful.
We're looking forward to it. Yeah. It's gonna be the most beautiful spring we've ever had. so I hope you're all buckled up for that. But yeah, I'll stop stalling.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's all from us. We love you.
Get
Have a
outta
happy
here.
holiday season.
Yeah.
not like that. But, you know, I feel like you've had enough of us, if anything. So I'm just, you know.
Yeah. Enjoy your winter break without us.
Yeah.
Still stay informed. Still be looking at the news. Like,
Absolutely.
I know we are gonna be pissed reading the news, knowing that we can't talk about it unless something absolutely crazy, absurd happens. And
It
of
happens.
course,
It happens every time we
Yeah.
go on break.
yeah. So next week is gonna be the craziest news. But we will certainly talk about it when we get back.
Yes.
We'll do a little recap of winter break. But of course, I hope you have a wonderful winter break.
Happy holidays. Happy New Year. Happy winter break. We will see you in late January. Bye-bye. Happiness and cheer. Fun for all that children call their favorite time.